Welcome back to another project video. In this video we'll make a console tray/table for a Toyota 4Runner. For those that park and eat in the car, this might make a meal more enjoyable. The car shown is a 2023 model year. This project will fit any of the model years that are similar. You'll find links in the description to the 3D model of plastic parts, a template for locating holes, and complete parts details. I used FreeCAD and LibreCAD to create these files. If you want to make this table, what's here will save you a lot of time and guesswork. We're inside a Toyota 4Runner 2023 TRD Off-Road Premium, and you're looking at the selector lever area. I made a little table to go in there, which improves the efficiency of this area for cups of soup and a few other little goodies that you might want to use to support food and other things. So let's take a look at how this table was set up. Here's a look at it. It's aluminum and it's got kind of some funky supports, but it works pretty well. Now let me set it up. Okay, there it is in position. It's approximately 8 inches by 8 inches. Now we can go ahead and put down a towel and then a trivet over top of that, which really makes a nice little flat area to put stuff on. There's the setup. Got the table in position, got a little towel in there, a little dish towel. You got a little silicone rubber trivet in there. We eat a lot in the car. We go up in the mountains and we always park someplace. So this table obviously is in the way of the shifter, so you have to be up and parked to use it. But it doesn't matter because we're always parked, and we can put some soup cups on that and plastic silverware and a few other things, which is really, really helpful. So let's dive in to the details on how this little table was made. Here's a quick look at the 3 spacers being printed on my 3D printer using gray PETG, so I figured I'd get this job started. It runs for about 52 minutes and I'd work on getting the aluminum plate cut out. Alright, here's the drawing for the aluminum flat layout, which will be the tray. So it's calling for, you can see this here, 229.22 millimeters. So I pulled a sheet of 50/52/063 aluminum. We got this marked off there. So we'll go over to the shear, we'll cut that out. This is going to form the basis for the tray. Okay, next we'll blank this out. It's not that precise, but so there's our 229.22 millimeter square piece. We can check this for squareness. It'll be out a little bit, but it's not that critical. But this is going to be our tray, so we got to notch it and then bend it. Okay, we'll notch this out in 4 places. So that's taken care of. Okay, we'll fire up the press brake. We'll bend this pan, see how it goes. See if we make it here on the width of the die. It's going to be close. Let's see what happens. Pretty good. Yeah, so we got enough room in here, so we'll be good. Okay, we can hit this again just to get the bends. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's our pan. That's how it looks. Got some open corners here, so maybe we make some plastic pieces. Finish off these corners nice, but that's our pan. Let's take some measurements. Okay, here's the pan. So we're looking for 12.7 on the side. So let's see what we got. Looks like that's kind of dead nuts on. I don't know if you can see that or not. 12.7, about a ½ inch. Pretty good on the sides here. See, we take another little angle here. 12.7. There, maybe you could see that there. So we're looking pretty good. And I took measurements off the model, and inside we're looking for 206.38. So let's see how we did on that. Let me dial this in. 206.38. A little touchy here. There we go. We got 206.38. So we're looking for inside dim, and we're pretty good there. We're wiggling a little bit here, but it's pretty good. What's happening is these bends are almost 90 degrees, but not quite. So I think we're in pretty good shape. This looks to be pretty good. So okay, so this is the finished pan. Now we got to do the holes for the PEM studs, get those located properly. So that worked out pretty well. Okay, next up is we've got our tray. If you don't have a press brake and you can't make these bends, you could actually just work with a flat piece of aluminum or some other material. I've got a little template here that I made. See if you can see that in there. We got to locate 3 holes. This is linked in the description. So I'm just going to throw this in here, and we got a Starrett automatic punch. So we're going to go ahead here, locate 3 holes using this template. Okay, we'll drill these out number 12, and they will receive a PEM 1024 self-clinching stud. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll spot these 3 holes over here at the Bridgeport. There's 1. 2. 3. And then the PEM 1024 studs call for a number 12 drill, so we'll go through with that. There's 1. 2. 3. I got this little tool here we can use to clean up the back sides of the hole a little bit. Just made from a 1/4 inch drill and a wooden dowel. It's handy. Just clean these up so they're smooth. Got a little burr on this one here. So that's it. So there's our There's our 3 holes. Next we'll get the PEM studs, get them pressed in. Okay, we're over here at the Dake Arbor Press. These are the PEM studs. You probably see these. They're 1024 by ½ inch. And a word of caution, make sure you press them in the right direction. It's easy to kind of screw this up. So the threads want to come out the back. And we need a little block in here for support. So here's one. Here's 2. Here's the last one. We need this little block in here to accommodate these returns, you know, these right angles, because if you go like this, you don't have any support, you'll just bend the metal. So anyway, this is how the studs work out. All 3 studs pressed in. So next we got to thread the spacers and then screw them on. Okay, here's all the 3D PETG printed plastic parts. I didn't show the cup support. It's let's go here and take a look at that. You can see that there. It's an hour and 33 minutes to print that out, so it's not that exciting. But anyway, we got the 3 spacers and we got that cup support. So those are all the parts we need. I did model corner pieces, so I'm hoping to get that in this video. We'll have to see how they come out. But so the next thing we got to do is thread these spacers. For those interested, here's my old Vermont tap and die set. We can do this by hand. So we need a 1024 tap. So I guess you can see that right there. So we'll pick this guy, and then here's the handle for that. So we'll come back over here. Okay, so we put the tap in the holder here, chucked it in. Let's go with a large spacer first. This is a pretty low torque application. You can just do this by hand. And the trick is to make sure that you get this started straight. So back it out a little bit, clear the chips, run it in. Okay, we threaded the spacers, got that all taken care of. You see these are a little wobbly here, so we want to clean up the ends so they're flat. The tapping pulls a little plastic out, and you get some burrs on there, so we'll get those cleaned up. This spacer here, this big one, needs to receive screws in both ends. These other ones just have to screw in one place, and then they get a rubber foot on there. All right, so we got the spacers. So here's my template, which indicates what spacers go where. So we'll flip this over, and we will put in this template here. Let's get it lined up. So this is going to be the shifter side. This is going to be the console side. So according to the template, this stud here gets the large spacer. So we'll screw that guy on there. Had him screwed on. Make sure it seats, get it tight. And then this one gets the 16 millimeter spacer up here. So we'll screw that one on. And then of course the last one is the 12 millimeter spacer. That one goes on down here. Okay. So we'll clean these off. Okay, so let's install the rubber feet and then the circular disc cup support. Okay, I got 3 sizes of urethane feet. These are 3M bump-on feet. I've got a larger dome foot, I got a smaller dome foot, and then I have a square foot. All of the details for these are in a link in the description. It will get you there. So what we'll do here, the square one goes on up here. So we'll put that on right there. And this can be trimmed a little bit if you want. And trim off the excess. It overhangs just a little bit. Makes it a little nicer. We can trim that off there. So that fits in there pretty well. Now what I did on this foot here, this is the smaller of the two domed feet. I used a little bit of this professional liquid Loctite super glue, and I just got a piece of TIG. Just a piece of TIG. Put a little bit on there. TIG rod, just to get that moistened a bit. Try to keep this stuff off your skin for obvious reasons. It really bonds to your skin. So this will be the smaller dome foot. So we'll go ahead and just put that in position right there. That makes a really strong connection. And then if we want, just go ahead and clean that up right there. So that takes care of the two rubber feet. The third foot has got to go on up here. That one's a little tricky. I'll show you how to do that. So here's the cup support, and there's a 1024 screw. It's been run in on that. So we'll just put that on there right there. Tighten that down, get that all tight. All right, so the last thing we got to do to get this to fit in the consoles, we got to locate this foot. So we got to go out in the car. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we got to locate the last domed rubber foot. So the easiest way to do that, this is a large foot. We're going to put that, we're going to balance that right there on the crown. That's where that wants to sit. So we'll get that balanced right there. Make sure that's kind of in the middle. Right there. Okay. So we'll take our tray and we'll just line it up here with the back so it's square. And then we'll carefully let that down and let it pick up that foot. We'll push on that right there. Okay. So that locates the position of that foot, and that sits right there. So there's your tray. So what we'll do is I'll show the tray and how we set it up with some soup cups and whatnot, but that pretty much completes the 4 mounting points. This is kind of a weird setup here. You got this cup holder and you got a lot of irregular plastic, so we're picking up a support here, we're picking up a support up in here, another support up in here, and then another support back here. These urethane feet are nice because they won't mark the plastic here, so that's kind of good. They're soft. So that just fits right in there real nice, and it's, you know, it's good, it's secure. So that's the story with that. Okay, here's the table that we made. Put that right in there. And these are the soup cups that we use, and you can see they don't do too well in the OEM holders. So that's why we came up with this table. So you can take a dish towel like this, and you can put that right in there. Bring that over the seat right in here. Pull it back so you got a little protection. And then we've got this silicone trivet. We lay that right in there, and then our 2 cups go here for a soup. And then you have a spoon in there. And you put the cheeseburger and the fries in there too if you want. It's big enough for it. But that's kind of how this works, and it's designed to provide a little bit more efficiency in this space when you're parked. Obviously this shift lever now is locked out. Here's the front of the tray, but it doesn't bother us any because every time we eat we're always parked, and this is always in park, so it's not really a problem. So that's kind of the story. The other thing I made, which is work in progress, is a carrier. This goes in the back on the hump. This is a carrier, and this is for this Yeti thermos, to hold this Yeti thermos. This project is it's a little bit unstable, so I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it yet. It's okay, but I got to improve on it. But it just kind of holds this in for our soup. So a little bit more on that in another video.